In the early hours of September 2nd, 1666, a small flame flickered to life in a bakery on Pudding Lane.
The baker, Thomas Farriner, had gone to bed believing his ovens were properly extinguished. He was wrong.
That single mistake would transform London forever, destroying 13,000 houses, 87 churches. But the story we think we know about the Great Fire is filled with myths, exaggerations, and outright lies that have persisted for more than 3 centuries.
Let me take you back to that fateful night and show you what really happened. London in 1666 was a city waiting to burn.
The medieval streets were narrow and winding, some barely wide enough for 2 people to pass each other.
The houses were built primarily of timber, with overhanging upper floors that nearly touched across the alleyways.
Pitch and tar waterproofed the roofs. Hay and straw filled the stables. Warehouses along the Thames stored oil, tallow. The city had experienced an unusually dry summer, and everything was parched and ready to ignite.
Thomas Farriner was the king's baker, a position of some prestige.
His shop on Pudding Lane sat just a few hundred feet from the Thames, in the heart of the commercial district.
Stay close, hold tight, we'll make it.
The fire, it's getting closer.
We just need to reach the next building. Grab my hand, quickly now! Don't look down, just keep moving! We're almost there!
What is this disturbance at such an hour?
Within hours, the blaze had consumed dozens of buildings and showed no signs of stopping.
Lord Mayor Bloodworth, you must wake, sir. The city needs you.
Within hours, the blaze had consumed dozens of buildings and showed no signs of stopping.
Lord Mayor Bloodworth, you must wake, sir! The city burns!
What is this disturbance at such an hour?
A great fire, sir. It spreads from Pudding Lane. They need you immediately.
Hurry, man! The whole city is burning! Where is my wig?
Here it is, sir. The carriage awaits.
Pish! A woman might piss it out. This is nothing to wake me for.
But, sir, the wind carries it fast. We must pull down houses to make a fire break.
And who shall pay for these houses?
I will not authorize such destruction without the king's permission.
His hesitation came not from stupidity, but from a genuine legal and financial dilemma.
Bloodworth spent precious hours trying to secure this authorization instead of acting decisively.
Tear down whatever buildings you must. I shall pay the costs myself. Save what remains of my city.
The fire had reached the warehouses along the river, where stored goods exploded and burned with terrifying intensity. The firefighters found themselves without water at the precise moment they needed it most.
Lord, what a sad sight it was by moonlight to see the whole city almost on fire.
He describes burying his wine and cheese in his garden to protect them from the flames.
Keep the line moving, quickly now. Careful with that chest, mind the children.
All aboard for the south bank.
The bridge is burning!
To the river, quickly!
Get these chests loaded now.
It moved westward through Cheapside, the main commercial thoroughfare, consuming the medieval Guildhall.
The fire burned for 4 days and nights.
It moved westward through Cheapside, the main commercial thoroughfare, consuming the medieval Guildhall. It destroyed Old St. Paul's Cathedral, where the scaffolding erected for ongoing repairs helped spread the flames through the massive stone structure. Books that had been stored in the cathedral's crypt for safekeeping caught fire from the heat, burning for a week after the main fire had been extinguished. Approximately 400 acres of the most densely built part of the city had been reduced to smoking rubble.
From the very beginning, Londoners suspected that the fire had been set deliberately.
It was the French! Foreign agents did this to us! Find them!
England was at war with both France and the Dutch Republic, and fears of foreign agents and Catholic conspirators ran high.
Yes, sir. It was me. I started the Great Fire.
Okay, look, I admit I was there, but I didn't do anything. I just watched. No, that's not right. I wasn't there at all.
His confession was riddled with inconsistencies. He changed his story multiple times.
He first claimed Westminster, then Pudding Lane. His story changes with each telling. Witnesses established that he had not arrived in London until 2 days after the fire started.
I swear on my life, Hubert was aboard our ship when the fire began. He was not in London. None of this mattered. The public demanded a culprit, and Hubert was convenient.
He was tried, convicted, and hanged at Tyburn in October 1666.
Only afterwards did the authorities acknowledge that the evidence against him was worthless, and that the fire had almost certainly begun by accident.
The unfortunate watchmaker became a scapegoat for a city's fear and anger. When the monument to the Great Fire was erected in 1677, an inscription was added blaming the disaster on the
This inflammatory accusation remained carved in stone until 1830, when it was finally removed.
Official records list only 6 confirmed fatalities from the Great Fire.
This number has always seemed impossibly low for a disaster of such magnitude.
The official figure is probably too low, but the actual death toll was almost certainly far smaller than we might expect.
The slow initial spread proved crucial, allowing families the time needed for an orderly and safe evacuation.
This number has always seemed impossibly low for a disaster of such magnitude.
The parish records that might have documented their deaths were themselves destroyed in the fire.
This layout maximizes the natural light and the community areas.
It's brilliant. We can start the structural modeling right away.
Here, let me help you with that cart.
Thank you kindly, brother. We'll get there safely.
Most crucially, the fire burned hottest in the commercial districts, which were relatively depopulated at night when the blaze began.
That said, the poorest residents of London lived in conditions that would have made escape difficult.
They had no boats, no carts, and no resources. The parish records that might have documented their deaths were themselves destroyed in the fire.
Historians believe the true death toll was probably in the dozens, or perhaps the low hundreds.
It was certainly a tragedy, but not the mass casualty event that the scale of destruction might suggest.
We'll make the Central Plaza the heart of the new community.
Absolutely. And these new housing units are fire-resistant and sustainable.
Tens of thousands of Londoners found themselves homeless and destitute.